I never planned on staying the night. That's the part that still messes with me. If I'd known I was going to be there after dark, I would have left way earlier. Or not gone at all. My uncle passed away in early December. Heart attack. Sudden. He lived alone in a small town in western Pennsylvania, the kind of place where everything shuts down by 6 and the streets go dead quiet after sunset. He didn't have kids. No close friends either. So the family asked me to drive out and help clean the house before it went up for sale. Just box things up, make sure nothing important got tossed. Easy job. One afternoon, tops. I got there around noon. Snow was already on the ground. Not fresh, but that gray, crunchy kind that sticks around when the sun never really warms up. His house sat at the end of a narrow road, backed by woods that looked thicker than I remembered from when I was a kid. The place smelled stale. Old carpet. Cold air. That smell houses get when no one's been inside for a while. I started in the living room. Photos. Old VHS tapes. Junk mail stacked on the table like he meant to sort it but never did. Nothing felt off at first. Just quiet. Too quiet, maybe, but I didn't think much of it. Around 3, I noticed the radio in the kitchen was on. Low volume. Static mixed with talk radio. I was sure I hadn't turned it on. I figured maybe it was already playing when I walked in and I just didn't notice. Still, I shut it off. Silence dropped back into the house, heavy and thick. That's when I realized I hadn't heard a single sound since I arrived. No cars passing. No wind. No birds. Just my own footsteps. By 5, it started getting dark. Winter dark. The kind that comes fast and doesn't give you any warning. I should have left then. Instead, I told myself I'd finish one more room. The basement. My uncle hated that basement. I remember him joking about it when I was younger, saying it gave him the creeps. Back then I thought he was messing around. Standing at the top of the stairs, staring down into it, I wasn't so sure. The light switch was at the bottom. I hesitated. Then went down anyway. The air was colder down there. Damp. The walls were concrete, stained with years of moisture. Shelves lined the sides, stacked with boxes labeled in his handwriting. Dates going back decades. I pulled open the first box. Newspapers. All from December. Different years. Same dates circled in red pen. December 12th. December 18th. December 21st. I flipped through them. The circled dates weren't holidays. They weren't anything special I could see. Just normal days. I shoved the box aside and opened another. Cassette tapes. Each one labeled with a date. All in December. I picked one at random and turned it over in my hand. On the back, written smaller, almost shaky, still outside. That's when I heard the footsteps upstairs. Slow. Careful. Not heavy like someone walking normally. More like someone trying not to be heard. I froze. The house was supposed to be empty. I hadn't heard a car pull up. No doors open. I told myself it was the house settling. Old places make noise. But the steps stopped directly above the basement door. Then the basement light shut off. Pitch black. I stood there, heart racing, listening. A voice came through the floorboards. Quiet. Familiar. My uncle's. Don't come up yet. My stomach dropped. He was dead. I'd been to the funeral. I'd stood by the grave. I backed away slowly until I hit the shelves behind me. My hand brushed against another box. It tipped and spilled open. Photos slid across the floor. Polaroids. Taken from inside the house. Each one showed the front door. Same angle. Same framing. Different nights. In the reflection of the glass, someone stood outside. Tall. Blurry. Always in the same spot near the tree by the driveway. On the back of the last photo was a date. December 21st. Today. The footsteps started again. Moving away from the basement door. Toward the front of the house. I didn't think. I just ran up the stairs and out of the basement. The living room lights were on now. The radio in the kitchen crackled back to life. I rushed to the front window. Someone was standing in the driveway. Tall. Thin. Too still. Facing the house. I couldn't make out a face. Just a shape against the snow. My phone buzzed in my pocket. No service. But I had a voicemail. One new message. The timestamp said it was left 5 minutes ago. I played it. My uncle's voice again. Calm. Tired. If you see him, don't let him know you're alone. And whatever you do, don't stay past midnight. The figure in the driveway lifted one hand. Not waving. Pointing. At the house. At me. I grabbed my keys and bolted out the back door, slipping on ice, not caring how loud I was. I didn't look back. I drove until the town lights disappeared and my hands stopped shaking enough to hold the wheel steady. I didn't sleep that night. A few days later, the realtor called. She asked if I'd been back to the house. I told her no. She said that was strange. Because the basement boxes were gone. All of them. If this story got to you, you already know what to do. Like the video, subscribe, and stick around. There are more files like this coming. I never went back to that town. The house sold fast. And every December, on the 21st, I get a voicemail. No number. No sound. Just breathing. And something moving slowly in the background, like footsteps pacing just outside a door.